All right, so the market is actually finding its feet right now after digesting to a certain extent the three big changes from the capital market point of view: the duration for long-term capital gains, the amount of capital gains, and of course the short-term trading, the rate at which short STT is levied. But let's move on and talk about industry by and large. We're joined by Mr. R Mukandan, Vice President at CII and of course Managing Director at Tata Chemicals, along with Rajiv Memani, President Designate CII and Chairman CEO of EY India. Gentlemen, afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Memani, let me come to you first. What are the two things which stood out as far as this budget is concerned, the speech in your view?
I would say the two things that stood out was, one was the focus that was there on creating employment. I would say that I think the schemes that have been announced are quite significant, quite bold. So I think that impetus stood out very clearly. The other thing was just the continued focus on macroeconomic stability, lower fiscal deficit number. So in spite of general pressure that, will there be a shift, at least the government and the finance minister have stuck to macroeconomic stability, which is very, very important. I would just add on the tax side, I think there is a lot of simplification that has been brought in, and also the fact that a new tax code will be coming out by the next budget, which is probably 6 months from now. I think that's also quite good. So I would say these three things stood out for me.
Joins us. Hi, are you happy with the budget, especially from the industry point of view? Because while, of course, this time the fiscal prudence has been maintained 4.9%, they are talking about 4.5% in the coming year, which means that the capex from government might go down and the onus will shift to the private sector. Do you think the private sector prepared for that in terms of the private capex picking up?
This is for me, actually?
Yes, Mr. Mukandan, the question is for you.
In terms of, I think the focus on fiscal consolidation, I think is a continued and a positive effort by the government. The fact that it's coming down to 4.5 as a percentage of GDP, the GDP will grow. So I think the headroom for the government to act on things like continued spending on infrastructure is going to be extremely positive. I think the three broad areas of focus, as two of them have been highlighted by Rajiv. So fundamentally, I think one is on this whole point about employment and internship and training and skilling. The second one is on MSME, and third is on infrastructure. I think these three will continue to be the focus of the government, and we have also been advocating from CII to continue to focus on these elements. I think the added focus which they've brought in this year, in this budget also, has been the Look East policy. I think there is, if India has to grow, India has to have inclusive growth, the eastern part of India has to also catch up with the rest of India, and I think that focus is very positive and welcome. And that overall enveloped in a fiscal consolidation and a direction towards 4.5% is absolutely a welcome move.
Mr. Mukandan, from the rural point of view, the way impetus has been given on a lot of rural infra development as well as skilling and jobs to the youth, do you think it will have an impact on rebound as far as that part of the economy is concerned? Since your group does work in the form of Rallis, and many other companies do have a very good grip on what's happening on the rural side. Mr. Mukandan?
Yeah, I think on the rural side, the continued effort on farm productivity, agriculture productivity, which the finance minister highlighted, is a very positive step. I think we need to spend a lot more to make sure that we become amongst the top producers in the world. India can be the food basket for the world, and I think that focus to improve agriculture productivity will play into rural consumption story, which has been a bit of a worry for many companies. And I think this effort by government to focus on agriculture and the eastern part of India, especially in many ways, I think the agriculture productivity can be even pushed up even more. And I think the focus on east also from that perspective is extremely positive.
Mukandan as well as Mr. Memani, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.